Hello and welcome to Critical Questions, the antidote to lockdown boredom. You're nodding your head to it. I've trawled the internet for the best, worst, most interesting and ridiculous dumb questions I can find. And with any luck, my guests will be able to answer all of them. Today we have got with us Jeff, the Godless Scummer.
Hello.
Jen, in what looks like quite a big corner. Peter.
Hello.
Godless Granny.
Hello.
And a very dapper badger.
Hello.
Did anyone do anything fun last night?
Yes. Talking
Yes.
to an evolution denier.
I can't believe he was a doctor.
Who's a medical doctor in the UK? Wait, how do you call that in the UK?
A medical doctor, GP. I think he was a GP.
A GP.
GP.
Correctly. Yeah.
That was disturbing.
Yes, and we did nearly 2 hours live, and then I ended up doing 3 more hours off air. So yeah, it was a little exhausting.
That is
wow.
weird.
I
But-
just fell asleep on my desk.
But the good thing is, he's going to take on Jackson Wheat, and hopefully Erica got a gibbon as well. So we'll see.
Ooh, that'll be
That's
That's a good way to get your butt handed to you, isn't it?
good.
Yeah, pretty
See,
damn much.
That's how I get to do fun stuff. just get terrible people on the channel and then ask others to clean up the dirt.
He
I did a stream on feminism. That
Did
was
you?
really good fun. And
From the kitchen?
Sorry? From the kitchen? You misogynistic prick.
It was a really good stream.
No, it was actually really good. If people want to check it out on my channel later, if you haven't seen it. Well, we went rather off topic after like the first hour, but it was still adjacent to the topic, and yeah, it was very good, and introduced Katie Montgomery to people who haven't met her yet. She's just starting to put in more content on her YouTube channel, so check her out because she's very knowledgeable.
What I saw of her, she was really good. So I told you I'd had
She
some
is.
internet issues here, so
I watched
Yeah.
it. It was a pretty interesting chat. I may have fallen asleep on my desk towards the end of it, but it was 2 a.m.
Yes, it was very.
Yes.
Well, it was for Katie as well. That's why we didn't go any longer than the 2 hours, was because it was too. Well, A, it would have been too long a stream, and B, 2 a.m. is just way too late to keep going with the stream.
Yes.
So you guys in the UK.
I premiered a new video yesterday morning, which features a 45-minute interview with Jen. And Jen was freaking awesome.
Sorry I swore so much. I tried to edit myself.
Well, it's funny. I really have no problem with people using the F word. I bleeped it out just for the humor of letting my viewers think it was humorous that I was bleeping out your F words.
Especially as I said, I was trying to edit myself. But
Yeah, right.
So does anyone else think that bleeping out the F word even attracts more attention to the fact that the F word is being used?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Or is
Yeah.
without a doubt.
I think bleeping any expletive is kind of pointless because then
Right.
it just makes the viewer say it themselves.
Yeah.
I premiered a video about an hour and a half ago, which was just a little rant at a certain Rupert Murdoch-owned rag for being complete arseholes.
Well,
Oh, what did they do?
What didn't they do?
Oh yeah, you Badger, you saw that thing that I posted on Twitter earlier today. I did a
I
little
think I did.
rant
I think
about
I
that.
replied.
Yes.
They were very complimentary about the pagans.
Yes.
Oh, the pagan one. Yeah,
yes.
let's do that.
something about them being goat shaggers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't
They were
imagine
doing-
his comments on that aren't going to be. They're going to be
doing
colourful.
So well. They were doing
Yeah.
so well at the start of that, just saying, "Oh, yeah."
I mean, at the start of it, it was like a
pagans
3
and these-
sentence blooming bit.
They were doing so well. Just you should think of the pagans in this troubling time. Those silly goat shaggers. Like, oh, there you go. It's all falling apart.
Yeah.
So Dave, I haven't been around here much lately. So is this the new format where in the first half hour everyone just shills themselves?
No. This is definitely not the new format. But
if that's the case,
there were some fun things last night.
I want to talk about 2 upcoming shows. One with Robert today. Later today, Robert's going to continue his debate that he had on Modern Day Debate, which was kind of a dumpster fire. So we're going to do better. And then on Tuesday, I'm going to have Eric Hernandez.
Why does that name ring a bell?
So he was on Dogma Debate, did several debates against Matt Dillahunty. Got into a huge dumpster fire on Aaron Ross' channel.
Well, that's a surprise.
After being in a dumpster fire live with Aaron Ross, so that should be good.
I remember him. Yes. Okay. Since we seem to be here, anyone got anything upcoming that's interesting?
Supposed to be something to do with Amanda later today. I think we're going to be in one of her TV time shows. So
that's Breaking Bad.
Yeah, but you're
isn't it?
talking about silly shows, so yeah.
I may have something upcoming, but I can't talk about that. How's that?
It's a secret.
I do have a little thing.
Do you?
I do.
What is it?
After you, Jeff.
Have you seen a doctor?
No, they're all busy.
They're all busy.
I know a good GP who doesn't believe in evolution. I could get in touch with him.
Is he busy right now, or is he just?
I think he might be asleep, a little bit wasted from last night, because I was a little rough on him.
Right.
And then I was accompanied by Lilith, who can be really rough.
I'm sorry. I promise. I'm just sitting here screaming over and over again in my head as to how the hell you can write a book discrediting something that you have no comprehension of.
Yes, he didn't know anything. But so one of the most fun comments in the side chat was that someone typed in the side chat, Peter and Lilith need a mod just to make the exact same point, which I thought was hilarious, because that was actually what was going on. We were screaming over each other, but trying to get at that guy. No, it was fun.
I should mention that I think tomorrow afternoon UK time, myself and Hissy are doing another Asterix the Ghoul stream. So
did your compendium arrive?
Do you know what? My second omnibus hasn't. We've got one more book in the third one to get through. So in the first one to get through. So
excellent. Badger, what have you got later? What's your little thing?
Well, going live this evening, I have a little story.
Is it live?
It's premiere.
Premiere. Okay.
Oh, cool.
You can do a radio play.
It'll be on this evening, about 8:30 UK time, and it features certain characters that are known to many people in this little community.
Any big names?
I'll tell you the title, which I can't remember. Hang on.
This isn't like that part of that fan fiction we've been hearing so much about.
It's not that fan fiction, no. If I just get my channel up, which is slow because it's Lappy Toppy, it's going to be a fabulous video featuring a romantic tale, and the tale shall be called The Apologist and the Viking, a tale of forbidden love.
That could be half the community.
That's
Yes.
Did Sammy write this for you, and does it include Math Pig?
No, it was written by a certain chap by the name of Duke Bonanza.
Ah.
I was getting a bit worried because obviously people know my what I used to be like a Norse pagan. I was getting a little bit worried that it might be like some awful fan fiction with me and S.J. Thomason or something. Then for a minute, I was ready to fucking kill you if it was.
Don't say that name out loud. That
You say it 3 times, she turns up.
makes me cringe.
I don't think the voice actor who helps Badger with this could do S.J. Thompson.
No.
So what no one knows is that Duke Bonanza actually did an entire show with Richard Madsen, which wasn't recorded, and there was one viewer, which was me, and I still am beating myself up that I didn't record it and then asked them if I could post that after the fact, because it was a brilliant conversation.
Why wasn't it recorded?
So they wanted to get acquainted off air first, and then got into a really good conversation, and it was literally the first time that I heard Richard actually define his beliefs in less than 2 hours.
Less than 2 hours.
No,
Richard is so much fun.
It was a great conversation. I really, really wish that had gone out live, because it was a really good conversation.
Can't ask them to act it out again.
Well, so the plan is that they're going to do it live somewhere. I'm not entirely sure where. I'd be more than happy to host it and just sit back and let Duke do the talking, because
Be interesting.
he had great questions, and he had a great way of getting through to Richard.
So why has Duke not had a conversation on stream?
Sorry?
Why has Duke not had a conversation with him on stream since?
No, this was a couple of days ago.
Oh, fair enough. So it's upcoming. Excellent.
Oh, cool. Awesome.
Yeah,
I was assuming in the past.
so they have been planning this. So, and we're still in a DM group together. So, I'm pushing both of them to do this live, because people need to hear that.
Mm.
And I'm a fan of Duke.
Right,
I did
Jen.
very nice Duke.
I have a premiere coming up after this stream. Well, it'll be a little while after this stream, depending on how long we go for, which could be a long time the way things are going at the moment. Yeah, at 11:15 in the morning, Eastern Standard Time in the US. So a little under 3 hours from now, where I'm going to be talking about the maths of why Mercury is the planet that is closest to all the other planets in the solar system on average.
Interesting.
Yep.
Okay, Dave. What number stupid question are we on right now, or haven't we started yet?
426. But I haven't asked Granny if she's got anything coming up.
Tuesday is my birthday.
Happy
And
birthday.
so I'm doing a live hangout. I've invited a few people, and we'll see who shows up. There's no agenda. It's just a hangout for my birthday.
Careful. I did the same thing, and then a GP showed up who was an anti-revolution denier.
Trust
Don't put the link
me,
too public,
trust me,
please.
there's worse people that can show up, but I'm not going to get into that.
On
Be
your
careful
birthday-
about making the link public.
on
There
your-
is-
I won't.
I learned,
The
just
link
say I learned
is
the hard way.
private just to the people I invited.
I was there for that, yes.
You still traumatized, aren't you, Badger?
I'm fine. I was in the toilet when it happened.
Aha.
I'm still traumatized.
I came back and everyone was trying to explain to me what was happening, and I was laughing inappropriately.
You were too. You wouldn't shut up.
No, because it was that's how I deal with things. It was hilarious to me, but also it's really bad.
It was
Yeah.
really bad.
No, that stream no longer exists, so I just deleted
Yeah,
that altogether.
The best thing, though, the only good thing to come from it, Jeff, is the fact that you didn't get taken down because of what
Yeah.
this idiot did.
I'll try to do, yeah. I mean, lesson learned the hard way, you know.
Right, should we start?
Oh, we not?
Well, yeah, we're doing some questions today.
Haven't we yet? I thought you were asking stupid questions all the time. I thought we started already.
Oh, happy birthday, Sammy.
It's not tomorrow yet.
I don't care. I probably won't see him in the chat tomorrow unless he joins Jay's stream.
Yeah, happy birthday tomorrow, Sammy.
Right. Question 426. Would you rather be a bee or a butterfly?
Definitely a butterfly. They're prettier.
Trouble with bees is you can only sting someone once and you're kind of screwed.
You can't sting anyone at all if you're a butterfly.
Yeah.
No.
But, the one sort of good thing about being a bee, and it's
Depends what your job is as the bee. I mean, if you're one of the ones that tends the queen, then you basically stay in the hive all the time, so you're a lot safer.
Yeah.
See, and that's why I would have picked the bee, because the only thing that you need to do is impregnate the queen, and you live longer.
Well, if you're a drone, yes, but if you the other bees don't, I'd rather be one of the ones that tends the queen rather than a drone.
So being Muhammad Ali isn't an option in this.
No.
I'm torn on this. It's a difficult question.
Is it?
Yeah, because
I reckon a bee.
I think a bee is more durable, but a butterfly. I'm not very social. I don't think I'd want to be just being around with other bees all.
There are lots. I didn't say it was a honeybee.
Oh, that's a good point. I could be one of the non-social bees.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the non-social bee.
But you also have the Australian native bee doesn't lose its sting when it stings.
Yep.
And Dave,
Probably one of them.
Australian native bee it is then.
Dave, is what, 426?
And
Wait.
they have smaller hives too, so that's really cool. So
Dave,
Badger would probably like them as well.
What?
Dave, question
Can I have a hive that's just me?
427. How many butterflies do you need to make a sandwich?
Can I have a hive that's just me?
No.
Oh.
In every definition, the word hive would not fit.
Can I just be a solitary bee?
Yes.
Okay. I'll
You would
be
have a
solitary.
nest.
Yeah, wouldn't
I like this. I should be a solitary bee.
You'll be a solitary bee. So 1 butterfly, 3 bees. Peter,
Yes?
did you pick?
I gave my answer already. I'd be a bee.
My apologies.
I would have sex with the queen all day, and I
You're
would
right.
live long than a
So
butterfly.
he's a drone.
He's a drone. But a happy drone.
I'd be happy.
Happy drone bee.
Santi said butterfly. I think that it's very split.
Bees
opinion.
live longer than butterflies too, so that's
It's the starting off life as a caterpillar that might be the turn off for me.
they all
Yeah.
sort of they all start off in various stages. So
True.
Not the transition where you turn into pulp.
Yeah, that's the that's another off-putting.
I don't think I'd want to be a butterfly just because they're too fragile.
yeah.
But are they?
What are you going to be, Dave?
I don't
Bee.
You're a bee.
I don't really want to end up in somebody's collection either.
That's true.
Do people not collect bees?
Not really.
Not the same way they collect butterflies.
No.
I think Mathpig wants to be a bee.
Also, cats don't hunt bees like they hunt butterflies.
That's
Dogs do.
Yeah, dogs are stupid.
You watch mine in the garden chasing them around.
Dogs are lovely.
Wait till they catch one.
They caught one. They regularly catch them.
The
get
major
stuck.
advantage of both is being able to fly.
So it's you.
Dogs can fly.
Shortage.
Also, bees don't do this stupid thing of flying into lights.
So it's you.
The
causing the
butterflies?
bee shortage, Dave.
Yeah, they're like moths. I'll do it too.
Right. Question 427. What's the story behind your worst scar?
Oh,
That's easy.
Ooh. How the hell did you do that? What did you do?
What did I do? So this finger was hit twice. First, when I was, I think I was 20 at the time, when I burnt all my fingertips. So my feeling is exactly like people who wear surgical gloves. That's it, because all the nerves in my fingertips have been solidly burned. And then I went on to a different company. And I got my finger in between two metal plates and pretty much lost the entire fingertip, which they put back on, but it doesn't work exactly. So my nail now points down.
Yeah.
You can see it points down.
It looks like a toenail.
Yes, yes, but a toenail that has been stepped on frequently. That's what it looks like. And the fact that my index finger is now thicker than my middle finger, which is also kind of curious.
That's very odd.
That's
I can't believe I haven't seen that.
My first scar.
Jeff.
Right. No, it's only very faint nowadays, but the only one I've got that's sort of been anywhere near permanent came from playing rugby years ago. And all that happened is I just tackled this second row on the other team, took him down. But it was a bit weird how he come down. That somehow his studs caught my kneecap and just did a sliced through my kneecap. It's really weird. It didn't really hurt that much, but it was bleeding like crazy for ages, and the scar never really went away. So,
Badger.
A guy hit me in the face with a hockey stick.
I hope you're playing hockey.
We were, actually.
That's
We were there just playing the old... we're playing street hockey.
Mm-hmm.
So,
hitting people in the face is loud in street hockey.
If anyone knows the various different varieties of hockey, you have ice hockey, and you have hockey, which is just running around in shoes. Then you have roller hockey, which is on roller skates, but the rules are stupid. And then you have street hockey, which is basically roller hockey, but with ice hockey rules.
So, question with ice hockey: do you play that with a popsicle stick?
You play ice hockey with an ice hockey stick, but you generally have the popsicles afterwards.
I think air hockey's the safest version.
It's really
you should see what that's done to my fingers.
You can end up with fingers like Peter just playing air hockey. But yeah, so I was going. There was a guy going for a shot at the goal with the well, it was a ball we played with, but you play street hockey with a ball or a puck. He was going for a shot. I snuck up behind him trying to get the ball away, and on the backswing, he just went in the face.
Oh!
At which point, I collapsed to the floor, bleeding everywhere.
That's the nice thing about getting hit in the face. There's usually a lot of blood.
Badger, is that how you ended up with those black eyes?
I thought he'd hit me right in. I thought he'd hit me right in the eye with the hockey stick, and I thought that my eye was bleeding and like leaking everywhere. Turned out it was above the eye, but I just couldn't see because there was blood in my eye.
I've actually got a front tooth that's a crown as a result of at school getting playing field hockey and someone being a little careless with a stick. So.
I just want to re-emphasize that roller hockey is stupid.
No, it's not. It's fun.
You can only turn in one direction.
I think anything on roller skates is kind of stupid, personally. But
Rollerblades. Granny.
6 years ago, I had scoliosis surgery for severe scoliosis. So I have a scar that extends from my bra line down to my pelvis.
Ooh.
I have rods in my spine. I have about 30 screws in my spine. The lowest level of my spine is bolted to my pelvis. And then there's another scar on the front of me because they fused me from both the back and the front. So from my bra line down, I am completely immobile.
So you can't slouch properly.
Would
Well,
you
at least
say?
you got the posture.
You can't slouch properly.
Yes, I can't. I have to sit ramrod straight all the time.
Oh.
That's the one thing I miss completely that I was not anticipating from this surgery is I don't enjoy reading the way I used to.
Yeah.
Because I can't curl up with a book the way I have to sit straight with the book right in front of me. It's also very difficult for me to hold anything in front of me because it takes so much energy just to hold myself erect.
Yeah.
That if you put something in my hands in front of me that even weighs just 1 pound, it's really hard for me to stay straight. So I have to
Badger
put
knows
my
that
hand
problem.
on something. Yeah.
Tom says Robo Granny.
It's really hard for Badger.
What's really hard for me on this stuff?
Holding yourself erect, Badger.
Oh, how do you know about
That's almost a compliment. Come on.
that?
What's really hard is when I hold my grandkids, I have to sit down. I can't stand up and hold a baby.
Oh, that would be hard. It'd be hard to pick
Yeah.
them up too.
I can't. You know, if they're under 20 pounds, I can. But over 20 pounds, someone has to pick them up and hand them to me.
I was going to say, I suppose you could read laying down on your back, but then you drop the book on your face.
Regularly.
I have done that. The biggest problem is light, because if the light is over me, it's shining directly in my face.
Oh,
You get glasses with lights on the side. We use them for soldering.
You can get those prism glasses where you look straight ahead but actually look down, so you can hold the book on your stomach. Lie down and hold the book on your stomach.
You can get lights that clip to your book as well.
Okay.
Jen.
Oh, a music
No,
stand.
I've got a few scars, but I don't know what is my worst. The most, probably the one I had earliest is the one I most vividly remember, because I was only about 5-6 years old, and I walked into a swing that was swinging backwards, and it whacked me right in the middle of the head, and I ended up with a cut right across my forehead and about 6 stitches. And I've still got a scar there, but I've got quite a few wrinkles now, so it's not noticeable.
So you were that kid who just wandered into the swing, and then everyone had to go home.
Yes.
Yeah. I was that kid.
Yes.
Sammy says, I've also mutilated my index finger on my left hand with a razor blade, as well as my right thumb, and drilled a screw into my wrist all the way in. The doctor said the screw pushed an artery out of the way.
Why did you do that, though?
The worst thing I've done that's like that is I remember trying to put holes in conkers with a knitting needle.
Did he
And I
get
held it in the palm
something
of my
from-
hand.
Dave,
Stabbed a
did he
knitting
get
needle.
Oh,
something
that's
from
not clever.
IKEA?
That's not very bright. Huh?
Dave,
Go on.
did he get something from IKEA
Well, I
and
didn't-
get the instruction manual with it?
Instructions not clear, screwed the chair to my wrist.
Yes.
I do have an injury like that, but it didn't leave a scar.
No, I had a scar for years, but I can't find it now. So
Oh, actually, no, it did leave a very slight scar. Looking at it, I have a kukri. It's not like an original proper one. It's a modern reproduction, but it's very sharp. And I was there just fiddling with it, just doing stuff, and I dropped it. And as an absolute genius with not too bad reflexes for catching things, I thought, oh, that's fine, I'll just catch it. What I actually did was split the end of my finger open and cut like halfway down the nail.
I sliced my finger open with a brick.
not a slicing implement.
No. No, it really isn't.
That's actually impressive.
You sliced your finger open with
Yeah,
I've
don't know whether
sliced
it's
the side off one of my fingers with a Stanley trimmer.
It must be lovely to see you eat meat. With a brick hammering on it. Trying to slice
it
off.
would be more effective than my teeth.
And parallel to your knitting needle thing, I was drilling holes in something with an Arlic. Was circuit boarding. Oh, it was circuit boards actually. I think, and I slipped and I drilled through the web of my my web with the Arlic. That was painful. I don't have a scar from it, but it bloody hurt.
Nerdy says, I probably got a biopsy scar someone. And the problem is, my worst scar has to be my knee. I've got two massive scars on my knee. One of which the stitch is open, so it's actually quite thick as well. But I think, I don't know how you define worst another way. My eyebrow annoys me most.
What's wrong with your eyebrow?
When I was, let's hazard a guess, at 3 or 4, I fell through a patio door.
Ow!
And they said if the door was open by about 3 inches apparently, and they said if the door was closed, it would have gone in the eye. I'd lost the eye. So I've got a scar there that makes my eyebrow look a bit funny.
Dave has.
I think it matches fine with the rest of your face.
I was actually saying, all these things you're saying, Dave, are you related to Frank Spencer by any chance?
Dave has silly eyebrows. Hashtag Dave silly eyebrows.
Ring says his appendectomy. He was military. How does military people not have a worse scar than that?
Well, the idea is not to get yourself like hurt or killed. That's.
But it just seems to be an occupational hazard. Literally an occupational hazard.
It is an occupational hazard, but it is the idea of it is not to get yourself killed if possible.
But if there's no war whilst you're signed up, then you're unlikely to get major injuries.
America has been at constant war for
a
long time.
That's true.
I'm pretty sure 1892 is the last time they didn't have some sort of foreign engagement with a foreign nation of some kind of. Yeah,
but it's not like us. We never have wars.
Jen, I don't think you're very much aware of what soldiers do when there's no war. I mean, when I was
have no idea.
In the army,
I'm a pacifist, so I have no interest in that.
When I was in the army, we got drunk, strapped one of the guys that was in our room to his bed, and then threw him out of the window. But no.
And this is what goes on in the army when there's no war. It's probably more dangerous.
This is why we have wars to stop you guys from doing that all the time.
That's why America starts so many wars, because all this soldiers is silly.
My husband was Army for 26 years before he retired, and he never saw action.
Did he get scarred?
He might have something minor. He was a tank officer.
Oh, they're easier to get a good whack with one of them.
Yeah.
The stories I've heard of that.
He was
head
the
scars.
commander, so he was at the top of the tank.
Did he ever get thrown out of the window?
Yeah, it was 1982. No, 1980 to 19. Let's see, to about 2020 to about 2006. So the only war that went on during his time was Desert Shield, and he did volunteer to go, but he was not selected.
Right, Ring says he was Intel.
That was 1982, 1983.
There was stuff going on then. Mathpig says, I've got a scar on my eye from being punched with brass knuckles. Nerdy says, America, fuck yeah. Shadow Kitty says, I have a scar on my ear from having a beer bottle being smashed over my head. Nerdy says, those server racks could be sharp too. I have got scars on my hand from server racks.
Oh, Dave, we should give Mathpig another scar. We could do with some bacon.
Oh. Are you suggesting you're going to be making bacon?
Oh, that's terrible.
It is terrible.
That's
To be
something
fair,
completely different.
to be
Jen.
fair, that's still a lot nicer than what Dave was suggesting to do to him a few days ago.
No, I was. Hello, Lucy.
Hi, Lucy.
Right, next question, which I've got to read the whole thing, which is not going to be good. Question 428. If you had a finger that could cure rectal cancer, but only if you pushed it hard up the anus of the cancer sufferer, would you cure anyone, everyone, or be like Jesus and just cure a few?
I think I'd be rectal cancer, Jesus.
You think you'd be rectal cancer? So the occasional person.
Yeah, I think.
Anyone within reason?
I mean, there's a lot of money to be made from like faith healing and stuff, but I don't know about this one.
I'm foreseeing like a romantic comedy starring Hugh Grant with this premise.
Are you?
Yes.
Oh, and you've just given more ideas to Sammy for his fan fiction too, Dave. You got to stop this.
See, the problem I have with this question is there has to be an amount of money that would justify you doing it.
Yeah.
For me, it's not difficult because you've got gloves on.
Yeah. No, you don't. No gloves.
If
You've got to touch. So no gloves.
Yeah, but you could have a glove with the finger cut out.
Yes, you can have a glove, but I'm sorry, but the finger is the bit I'm worried about.
So what you're saying is the bum magic is part of your finger and cannot be gloved.
Yes.
Okay.
But it's still a good deed. It would cure someone of cancer. Go on, Peter.
Dave,
one thing for me
I did show my finger earlier.
You've got no feeling.
But the shape of my finger and my fingernail. So yes, there would be people that I might heal, but those would be the people that I wouldn't like particularly because they wouldn't enjoy it.
Okay, so what you would say, you would cure someone who sort of had like a severe aversion to having anything inserted, just so that they would then have to live with that knowledge for longer.
I could name a particular Christian apologist. I won't say her name,
no. Please no. Lucy says, cure everyone, no one deserves cancer except Hitler and Carol Baskin. And apparently I meant to say that in a funny way. Tom says, do you know how much money Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Do you know how much money I could make instantly curing cancer, says Tom. Nerdy says, I'm foreseeing a new chapter of fan fiction based on this question.
Yeah.
Pig, I already have magic hands. Tom,
the next one Nerdy put in. I think that's a good one too.
You can only cure this one particular kind of cancer, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is almost entirely had by men.
So if they've got like brain cancer, have I got to stick my finger up the nose or something?
No, you don't. It only cures rectal cancer.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a bit. It's not much of a healing power, really.
Well, it's pretty damn magic for people that have got rectal cancer.
Yeah.
You'd have to charge a fortune for all the travel you'd have to do to find all the patients.
Does my
I'm fairly certain they come to you.
Does my finger glow as I do it?
No.
Oh,
but that would be cool.
He wants to look like E.T.
Yeah.
I was hoping it would also detect
E.T. cure rectal cancer.
I was hoping it would also detect nearby instances of rectal cancer because my finger would light up. No, I could go, right, who around here's got bum cancer?
Just using it to point out. Tom says...
Somebody will sheepishly raise their hand and go, me. And I go, right, over the table.
Tom says there is an entire field of medical doctors who do this every fucking day and don't cure anything. Nerdy says, I think I'd probably... They use gloves. Specialised in healing supermodels, which we already discussed. Probably aren't going to be many of them that have got it. And if they are threatened by cancery death, are they really consenting? Yes.
I did have a doctor do that once.
I'd love to see the Christian apologist consenting to me.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, that
Holy.
Never mind.
that guy who did the video about buttholes, where he uses butthole like 15 times in the video.
Oh, that person.
Yes, the
I'm gonna
preacher.
make a flame coming out of your butthole.
Yeah.
I have that video. It's awesome.
Right,
Yeah,
so
I had the doctor did that, and then he told me I had tendonitis in my ankle.
And after that, he admitted he wasn't really the doctor.
the intern. Right, quick answers. Jeff.
It's a difficult one because I don't know that there's enough money to make me want to do that as a profession. So,
Peter. Gone. Granny.
I would,
I already gave my answer.
I wanted a quick,
I'm
short
ace,
answer.
and so there's no sexual connotations with it. I don't have those kinds of feelings. So for me, it's just a medical thing.
Excellent. He's the good one. Badger.
Dave, I already gave my answer. Remember the Christian apologist?
You did?
You just want me to repeat that over and
We're
over
trying to
again.
gloss over
So
that.
everyone gets an idea.
We're trying to
about
ignore that and have a real answer.
What? That wasn't my real answer.
You would use the power then, but sparingly.
I've got the power.
I mean, she had a hissy fit for over 2 hours about my co-host doing something that he didn't
Yes,
do.
I think
I
I'm
did.
more worried she's already got something stuck up there.
Pretty much.
Her Bible?
Big.
A
Something
big,
really,
long stick.
really big.
Badger.
It wouldn't surprise me if she doesn't anally insert her own Bible. She's got to get that God's word right
She
up.
feels God inside her.
Badger.
Yeah.
You are a horrible person. Really.
I must say I don't
I
actually know.
will
these
never
people.
be able to
They're
get
talking about
that
SJ.
image out of my
Oh,
mind.
you might be, but
No, they are.
Okay. My answer is as follows. I would do it, but no pun. I would do it, but they would either have to be of romantic interest to me or pay me a lot.
But you do it for a vast sum of money.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 5 minutes of uncomfortableness. You can close your eyes, get someone else to point it.
Or they could demonstrate to me that my curing their bum cancer will be beneficial to society.
Ooh. That's good.
Because if they don't, you're not going to cure them. You'd rather they died.
They can still pay me.
Jen.
Yeah, probably mostly. There may be cases where I'd be going, nah, I'm not touching that. But on the whole, I think as long as there was a reasonable remuneration,
On the whole, Jem.
Pun
On the
intended.
whole, yeah. Pun intended.
How old are you people? Right. Next question. Question 400. Question 429. If you could choose your manner of death, would you want to?
Well,
Is that the same? Does that mean you choose when as well?
Maybe.
Okay, because I'd
Can I
really
choose not
rather
to do
not
that?
know when I'm going to die that accurately. I think that'd be a little bit creepy.
I suppose if it's just talking about your manner of your death or something, and then it might be worth considering because it's like, well, it's one thing we can't actually avoid. It might be nice to actually have a say in how we go out.
Can I choose?
Once you've
to
chosen
die-
your manner of death, is it not possible for you to die any other way?
You think this is going to be Something that keeps you alive.
Can I choose to die quickly in a sword fight?
Yes.
So then I know that if I'm not currently in a sword fight, I'm fine.
How do you know you're not currently in a sword fight?
Because I am not currently holding a sword, and
Yeah,
I'm
you might not
fighting
need to be
someone
holding.
else
You don't need
sword.
to be holding a sword to be in a sword fight.
I have very strict definitions of what constitutes a sword fight, Dave.
If someone could
I'm
walk up.
choosing to die in the supernova of the sun.
So you want to be at least 4 billion years old.
Yeah, that'll do.
That'll do. No.
I'd have given up smoking after like 300 years then, because I'd be bored that it wasn't killing me.
Only problem is, Jeff, it might not kill you, but it still might give you cancer.
Mm.
So you could be in pain and anger and still getting old, and you're still going to be around for billions of years.
Yeah, that's true.
Right, Nerdy says yes. Robert says yes. Death by Snoo Snoo. Ring
That
says
might be mine.
yes, assuming you can choose that when as
I
well.
was thinking along those lines, actually, whoever said that, yeah.
Nerdy says I'd like to die with a cancer-curing finger up my arse.
So you don't have cancer anymore, but you're still dead.
Yes.
Is that why it cured the cancer? It just
Nerdy
killed
didn't
it?
say he had cancer beforehand.
Yes.
Nerdy is the kind of person who would probably pretend that he had cancer just so he could get the person's finger up his ass.
This is why he needed the modified Badger version that lights up. That sounds like a toy.
That sounds like the way Nerdy's going out then.
So pretty much you'd all want to choose your manner of death if you had the choice.
Definitely.
I didn't know, but I'm going with Mr. Shadow Kitty.
Mr. Shadow Kitty, die in my sleep after having way too much sex for a man of my age.
That's it.
What? What's happening?
What's happening? We're going to the next question.
Oh.
Question 430. If you had $20 million, but you only had 6 hours to spend it, and you couldn't give it away, what would you buy?
Oh god, this is like Brewster's
Real
Millions, isn't
estate.
it, you know?
Very much so.
Yeah.
SpaceX, because it's about all it's worth after Elon Musk fucking up.
What did he do now?
I can't believe him on Twitter
Oh.
the last month.
Oh, what was it he said on Twitter the other day? I was like, what?
He was talking some crap about COVID that he was
Yeah.
wrong about. And I reckon he knocked several $1 billion worth of value off his company.
The problem is, this is one of those weird things that I don't think he understands, that his supporters are mostly geeks.
How does him not knowing about COVID mean that he doesn't know about space?
Because no, it's not. It's he's buying into the conspiracies. It's not that he doesn't know about COVID that's the issue.
Is he buying into the fun ones?
No.
No.
Oh, so he's not a 5G guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, Kaz just said it was $13.4 billion wiped off the value of Tesla. Just for his stupid ass statements.
Didn't he set all the stock prices to 420 after smoking weed on that live stream?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he constantly does stupid things and is destroying his own companies.
Well, I think at this point he can literally just he can just destroy everything and still be fine. So he's probably just having a laugh.
No,
I don't know.
he's
No,
followed it up. He's carried on. If he's trolling, he is very committed to it.
I've met some very committed trolls,
You are
And
a
they
very
didn't-
committed troll.
and they didn't have like multi-million companies behind them. If they did, you would be dealing with them for decades.
Let's see some of the things. Nerdy says stocks and shares, houses, lots of computers, haptic suits.
Oh, there was an actual question, wasn't there?
Yes. Robert says we'll go to see the shape of the Earth. It's round.
It's round.
You missed the bit about with Joe Rogan.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, I figured it out. I know what I'd buy.
What?
I figured it out too.
I would buy a.
Well,
big
you have to
house.
wait because Granny's going to go first because she had an answer first.
Oh, I said real estate. Particularly, I'd probably buy up some kind of business in downtown New York that's going to make me more money.
Do you think you can buy that in 6 hours?
You can't finish the legal process, but you can put down the contract.
At the moment in New York, probably the largest growing business is funeral parlors.
Oh, that's pretty dark.
I would buy a forest.
A forest.
Yes.
I already have that.
You're already in it.
I
Sammy
mean,
says hookers and blow.
Yeah.
Do you reckon you can spend 20 million on hookers and blow in 6 hours? It's one hell of a party.
I'll back
Probably
in a minute.
try.
I think, Dave, I've got the perfect answer.
Go on.
I'd buy a big chocolate cake, and while I was eating it, I'd write a will.
I don't
See
get
how
it.
see how I got around the fact that I can't give it away? Because I wouldn't.
Why? You'd will it away.
Yes.
That's giving it away.
I'd be dead. I'd be giving nothing away. I'd be dead.
Are you allergic to chocolate by any chance?
No. I just like chocolate cake, and if I have 6 hours to spend, I'm going to spend it on eating chocolate cake. That's the
No. You're not going to die in 6 hours.
Right, I've rethought my answer.
What?
I would buy a forest and the entire world's supply of Winiary Polish mayonnaise and Battenberg.
Why don't you just say people will buy you the Battenberg just to get rid of it?
What I wouldn't buy is
I'm gonna slap you, Dave.
is stakes in Tesla.
No, well, no. Steak and test is probably a good thing to buy right now, to be quite honest.
Because it's so low value.
Ring said, a
Although,
giant pile.
to be honest, you'd probably be better off buying $20 million worth of government bonds.
You reckon? At the
The
moment?
government's stupid.
Yeah, government's
Which
not going to go
government?
fast. Oh, Australian government, not yours.
Ring says a giant. What?
What's wrong with mine?
Yours? Your government?
Yeah, the government of my badger.
It's blonde and it's a mop.
Not that one.
Ring says a giant pile of bills, a can of petrol, and a box of matches.
He's Joker in it.
No.
Yeah, he's jokering.
Yeah.
Sammy says hookers and blow. Oh, Elon Musk was with Joe Rogan. He wasn't. He's not that he wants to take Joe Rogan to see the shape of the Earth.
No, he was smoking the weed with Joe Rogan.
Shadow Kitty said, "Buy my own island." Is 20 million enough for your own island?
Small one, maybe?
And can you do it in 6 hours? Mathpig says, "I'd buy all the Mathpig fanfiction and burn it." To which Manda responds, "I leave you alone for 2 minutes."
Well, I was gonna.
I don't think he'd need that much for it.
Well, if
I
the
could've-
person who's written the fanfic is aware of this scenario, I think they charge him the full amount.
$20 million a copy.
How about
What?
no, I don't cost more than $20 million actually. Though I was going to suggest buying Star Wars off of Disney and like giving it to Badger as like so he can do what he wishes with it.
Yeah, do that.
He just wants the masters for the last 3 films.
Yeah,
I want a lot more than that.
Yeah, you need more than $20 million to buy
Yes.
Star Wars back from Disney.
Yeah, that lies in the problem.
Even if every single one of us on this panel pulled our 20 million, we still wouldn't have enough.
Where, excuse me, where exactly did you get 100 million from?
Dave,
There's only one set of 20 million.
Dave,
One piece of-
You gave us all the same option. There must be 20 million each.
So you now
No.
say we got to split 20 million between us?
Well, that makes it even easier.
Only
Dave.
one of you gets the 20 million.
Dave, since I got the question wrong, can I revise my answer?
Of course.
I'd buy a big chocolate cake
That was your answer the first time.
and spend the rest on gift certificates.
How are you determining who gets the 20 million, Dave?
Rock, paper, scissors competition.
I know what Badger would do.
I-
He'd take out a contract on Kathleen Kennedy.
Well, I
I might take out a contract. on the whole
actually,
thing.
if Dave's refereeing this contest, I would split at least half of it with Dave. And that wouldn't be giving it away because technically that would be a bribe.
Purchasing a service.
10 million. Then I've got 10 million to spend on, like, investing.
Anyone want to offer me 11 million?
If Dave is refereeing this contest, presumably he already has the 20 million. So we should all just like dogpile on Dave, slap him a bit, and take the 20 million.
Oh,
Yeah, and then we don't have to
I feel that I may have lost control of this question.
Next one.
You should have specified there was only 120 million.
That's 4 million a piece. I'd go for that.
Yeah, we could split that, couldn't we? And just,
Yeah. We're just gonna split it. And screw your rule.
Ring says the time machine send ISIS back to kill Jesus before he could be crucified.
But he still died.
Yeah, I had an odd conversation with someone the other day about that. They were telling me that not all the apologists, not all the apostles died.
There's a paradox. There's a
I pointed
paradox.
out they all did.
Because,
Say again?
because if Jesus wasn't crucified, then would we have ISIS since they're a split off of Christianity?
Please don't go back to the time travel question.
How did you know you got the right Jesus? Right, next question. Question 431. Is marriage an antiquated concept?
Yes.
Oh. Okay.
I live
Wait,
with two women. It's impossible for me to get married because
I'm going to ask this question again in a minute. Because, you see, before we do this question, we need to sing Happy Birthday.
You do?
Yeah.
Who too?
Ilya.
Ilya Moon.
Oh, Ilya.
No.
So who wants to start? Otherwise, we'll be
Well,
terribly
you-
out of sync.
Well, you suggested it.
It's
so-
going to be terribly out of sync anyway. We've got lag.
You know, it's
And
always
I'm going to
horrific.
I'm going to be really offended because did you do that yesterday?
No,
Were in
but
the
you
chat
didn't come in and
yesterday?
demand it. If you come in and demand it, we sing.
Okay.
We do?
Yes. Well, everyone else sings.
Never happened
I can't
before.
sing.
Did
It
you
has.
not read the rules in the contract for this question thing?
Happy
Birthday to you.
You.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
And we've just destroyed the internet.
You had to wait until I have a mouthful, didn't you?
Yes.
I did. Okay, I get the feeling that this is not going to be like a new 6-piece pop act somehow.
We have never managed to successfully, in all the streams I've been on, I've now sung Happy Birthday maybe a dozen times, and it's always been horrific.
I actually think that managed to be worse than the one we did on Six Pack.
Jen, you sounded like you were trying to do like the Marilyn Monroe style.
I
there.
was going to do that, but you all joined in.
We all joined in. See, one person can sing, no problem. Right, let's try
My
again.
youngest is actually a pretty good singer, but he's also kind of shy, so I'm not sure if they want to do that or not. I'm also not sure if they're even up yet.
If they're up, we could get them to come sing. We could get them to come sing "Happy Birthday" to Peter.
I'm up.
You're not her grandson.
Two birthdays in a row. You really want to make me feel old, and then I have to celebrate tomorrow or Monday.
That's 3.
I'm even feeling older. I mean,
Oh dear.
let's just carry on. I mean,
I've just found a headline.
And?
Oh, so we got a new question.
We have.
Tesla boss Elon Musk wiped £11 billion off the car maker's value after tweeting its share price was too high. And then the next picture is just at Elon Musk. Tesla stock price is too high, IMO.
yeah, I think the last count was that it cost only 14 billion.
Yeah, that's in dollars. It's 11 billion in pounds.
Oh, okay.
Right. The next question.
That's made Badger's day, I think.
Yes. Question 431. What? Question 431. Is marriage an I can't even say it now. Is marriage an
Antiquated.
Cry. Is marriage an
What's the
an
question,
antiquated
Dave?
concept?
Shh. Is marriage an antiquated concept? Right.
Legally, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, legally.
Legally, people who live together have the same rights as people who are married, almost. It's pretty doggone close. Tax-wise, there's still an advantage to be married in this country.
I'm gonna say yeah.
Well, I think this is where we need to start then, isn't it? What is marriage?
Oh.
It's between
As
a
far as I'm
man
concerned, it's
and
between
a
a man
woman.
and one
Because
woman.
That's how God intended it.
Yeah.
Ask Kenham.
I like that I got 6 different answers all at the same time and heard none of them.
I didn't know anything. I was eating.
I think I'm the expert here. I'm married and I've been married for 36 years.
So what do you think marriage is?
It's primarily a legal thing. For us, for the longest time, it was a religious thing. But, I left the faith a year ago and my husband is still a believer. And so it's no longer a religious thing, but it's still a legal thing.
Shadow Kitty says that. It's a legal thing, nothing more. Take it from a married guy. Tom says, state recognized marriage is bullshit, though it should be civil unions for all and keep your marriage between you and whatever community recognizes it. Seraphim says, marriage is for the cake.
Yeah, that's true.
So I do have a problem with it because I'm in a polyamorous relationship, and there's no way to legalize that, not even in a civil union.
No, that's there isn't currently. But that doesn't mean to say that marriage can't include. You couldn't. I mean, at the end of the day, I think you struggle.
That's why it's an antiquated concept, because it doesn't leave room
No.
for
That
people-
version of
for people like
that
me.
version of marriage.
Yeah,
That there are versions of marriage that do include more than.
the biblical version of marriage, you can have more than one concubine.
Precisely.
I have, but there's no way to legalize that.
I think that a polyamorous relationship, you should be able to, if you want to formalize it, do some kind of like civil partnership thing.
I think it's in Denmark where you actually can, and I think in Canada you can as well now. In Holland, sadly, you still can't.
I'm fairly certain, Peter, that if you wanted to legalize yours, there are a lot more countries in the world that would be happy to do it.
I think.
Well, so I did a stream about this. I think 2 years ago with a woman from Canada, and it is something that is a problem and isn't addressed in a lot of countries. As I said, Canada was actually opening up to it. I'm not sure if they by now have legalized it. Back then, I think the only country that had was Denmark, where you can actually have multiple partners and legalize it so that in case of a death.
You see, here's the problem I've got. I don't think that I think it all comes down to it being a contract. I mean, I'm poly, and I don't think that there should be a contract between more than two people.
Well,
that doesn't mean to say you can't have a contract. I can't have a contract with you. You can't have a contract with the other member of the triad, and that they can't have a contract together. Because the point is, you can only be responsible for your parts of it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but so the thing is, so let's say I pass away. I own a house, and I'm the owner of the cabins that we live in.
Mm-hmm.
So what's going to happen to that? I could only one person could.
Yeah, but the point is I don't think that should be being dealt with by marriage. I mean, this is why I think marriage is an antiquated concept. I think marriage is an antiquated concept because it puts too much. It loads so much stuff that doesn't get discussed under this heading of marriage.
I reckon that the institution of I think I broke my internet again. Am I back?
You're back.
Yep, you're here.
I think that the social and religious and personal connotations of marriage should be separate from the legal aspects of it. So,
but then what is it?
I think. Hang on, let me finish. I think there should be legal civil unions that can be between anyone and anyone else, and if that is significant as a marriage for those people, they can have a ceremony to make that a marriage for them.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that the civil union aspect should be separate from the emotional aspect. The contractual part should be separate from the emotional part.
That's what people said about gay marriage 20 years ago.
The problem that I have with it is, so let's say I pass away and I draw up a will and divide my possessions equally between the two. What would happen then is that they would have to pay a ridiculous amount of taxes.
Not if you put it into a living trust.
No, because of the inheritance. If
you can put it into a living trust, and then it conveys automatically through probate.
The issue you've got is right now they don't get the tax benefits of being wives.
Yes.
Right.
But
the point is that is a problem with the legal system, not a problem with marriage.
The problem is that is the same thing. That's literally the same thing. There are different rules for being married. And just having a will where you leave it to someone you actually live with and are not married to.
In the U.S., whether you're married or not makes no difference.
Also, let's take a thing like a life insurance. If you have a life insurance policy, and there's through that you can leave money. That's also not possible if you're not legally married or do have a contract. At least in my country, it isn't. You can still leave it to someone, but then I think about a third goes to taxes, which I think is far too much. It's just ridiculous.
But again, you're getting to the point where you're on tax law. You're not necessarily. This is the problem. I mean, the key thing I was trying to get to here was the fact that there is so much stuff mixed up. Everything that you are bringing up can be solved another way.
Yeah, see, this is called stupid questions.
Yes.
And when I give a stupid answer, you have a problem with that. Why?
In this country, there's no inheritance tax till you get the estate over $750,000. So for small estates, it's not even a question.
Oh, that's really different in Holland.
Right, I have a thing, but I don't. Oh dear.
Go on.
Right, I have a thing, but I don't want to talk across anyone. In response to the thing earlier about that's what they were saying about gay marriage 20 years ago. Yes, but I don't think that was actually the problem with the approach to gay marriage. I think that particular idea was entirely sensible. The issue was that they were trying to only apply it to gay marriage in order to make gay marriage a lesser and separate thing to, in quotes, normal marriage. If they applied that evenly to all marriage, I think the situation would improve.
It's like there were people at the moment arguing for civil union.
Dave, take into account that if people do want to get married, they should at least have the opportunity to get married, even if they're in a polyamorous relationship.
I completely agree, but the point being, I still come back to what are you asking for within a legal framework? Within a general framework. Are you talking about the getting married? Are you talking about the ceremony? Are you talking about recognition under law? Are you talking about recognition within the community?
There are still people who would like to have the ceremony, but now can't have that particular ceremony. So the marriage. So here's how I took the question: marriage as we have it today is an antiquated concept. It needs to be adjusted to the current time.
Yeah.
Yes,
I'd agree with
well,
that.
There's nothing wrong with marriage as such. That's what I'm trying to convey. There's nothing wrong with marriage as such, but it needs to be open to everyone, which it still isn't.
So as it is, it's an antiquated concept. We need new marriage.
Yeah.
Yes.
New marriage.
So, Dave?
I'll say it's antiquated, but then I think everyone should be allowed the right to get married and be miserable. So
I want the right to walk down the aisle with two brides. I don't want to be the first one.
Seraphim Hyde says she wants to marry Badger's voice.
That seems a popular opinion in the States.
By the way, Nerdy brings up an interesting point in the chat, Dave, which I think we should add to our discussion topics list.
Where was that? I've lost
Nerdy
track.
says that you're posher than me. So I think we need to have an extended discussion about who is posher out of the two of us.
Well, a Scouser and someone from that area of the country.
Yeah, that area.
Badger, you win this one hands down.
I mean, the worst thing is he's not posh either. That's the worst thing.
I responded to Nerdy in the chat saying, excuse me, I'm well posh.
I think the thing that fucking annoys me here is there's 3 English people in this, and I don't even get mentioned in this.
The worst thing is you're from the most posh area.
Yeah. Technically, I'm from the most posh area of the 3 of you, I believe, and I'm probably the least.
Oh, really?
Well, I don't know. I can't work out where the hell the badger lives, but I've got a vague idea.
I will tell you a little thing, which is that I grew up in a place that would make me sound quite posh. Then I went to a place that would make me sound not at all posh. So I can talk like both, and they tend to, when I'm just speaking, without thinking about it, they tend to combine, and I kind of flip between a bit.
Fair enough.
Are you a hooligan?
Yes.
No.
Sorry.
Jen.
Oh yeah, it's definitely antiquated.
Very good. We can move on.
Oh, that was the topic.
Yes, please. I already said in the chat. I got sick of this question.
Right.
Like
Question
say,
4.
That question lasted longer than some marriages.
Yeah.
I've definitely been shorter.
Yeah, that question lasted so long we all had a 7-year itch.
Question 432. What is the weirdest place you've left underwear? I'll explicitly note here, it's not necessarily your underwear.
Dave's house.
Not necessarily my underwear.
No.
I got it. So I had a coworker who I didn't particularly like, and a family member came to my house who had found a blow-up doll in what the British would call a skip.
All right.
So it had a leak, which I fixed, with some stuff that I had lying around for when I had a puncture with my bicycle. And so we filled it with helium with a very long piece of string attached to it. Then shoved it under his car and tied the string to the back bumper. So in the morning when he came to work, unbeknownst to him, he had a blow-up doll which was wearing underwear that my girlfriend at the time didn't use anymore. Quite sexy underwear, but a bit antiquated at the time. So he parked in front of the company, and because when he was driving, the doll was lower down.
Yeah.
And when he parked in front of the company, it floated up top, and it ended up exactly in front of the window of the owner of the company. I thought was quite a good joke.
That's quite inventive joke. I'll say that.
Yes.
So it was just
by the
the
underwear.
spur of the moment.
Wait.
If someone brings you a blow-up doll, what do you do? And this was my best idea.
Very good
Outstanding.
idea. Wait there, let me do chat quick. Sammy says, on my person. Mr. Manda says, your mum's bedroom. Mr. Manda also says, lampshade. Nerdy says, don't wear underwear. Nerdy, it doesn't have to be your underwear. Seraphim says, utilities closet of a hotel. One Ring says, possibly Kuwait or Afghanistan.
Yeah, I think that wins it.
Jeff.
Wait a minute. Seraphim Hyde said, I have had my friend and my underwear in my purse. That must be quite a big purse.
Why would they have their friend in
What kind
their
of underwear are you
Why would you
picturing?
put your friend in your purse?
Oh,
And why would he need your underwear while he's in there? Too many questions. Too many questions.
I'm pretty sure it's a bit of a mean prank when I was at school once. There was someone whose underwear we may have hoisted up on a flagpole.
yeah.
So
The friend might be a toy dog.
Granny.
My husband's head.
Your husband's head. Jed.
My own? No, I don't think I've ever left anywhere weird. Oh, well, I left the bra sitting up on there during an entire stream. Aside from that, we when I was a teenager, we attached some bras and panties to a friend's little Suzuki.
Nice.
So the bras were at the front and the panties were on the back, and they didn't realise, and they drove around town for a day before they figured out we'd done it.
when you say Suzuki, we are talking car, not motorcycle here.
Yeah, I'm talking
I
car, not a
already-
motorcycle.
I already gave my answer, but just to make sure, I am the only one who has ever bought really sexy underwear, put it in the glove compartment of my best friend's car, and waited until his wife found it. I'm the only one who did that.
I have left girlfriend's underwear in surreptitious places to get other people into trouble.
I have to. Not necessarily.
Mean. That is just so mean.
I would actually go buy some cheap underwear and then leave it, and particularly to get people in trouble.
See, I feel bad about like doing that thing to another kid at school with a flagpole, but you guys made me feel like a lot better about myself. I'm not that cruel.
You know what a really good place is? Between the cushions of a couch
Yeah.
If you're visiting someone and you're on the couch, just sneak it from your back pocket and
Just a little bit sticking out, just so someone notices. But
yes.
yeah.
You've all got very inventive underwear stories.
Well,
The fun
raw.
part you can't actually watch, but you'll get to hear all about it. Years after.
About my, what was the question? Weirdest. I replaced flags on a golf course with the girls' underwear. as we made our way to each bunker doing stuff.
Wow.
I think
You don't want to be doing stuff in the bunker. You get sand places it shouldn't be.
I live near a beach. We get sand everywhere.
Was it like a full 18 holes or what?
Dave,
No, I don't think we managed the full 18 holes.
We've now discovered Artemis Brain Sample's fascination with golf. He's been at your golf course.
That wouldn't surprise me. Amanda says, how does one forget their underwear anyway? We didn't forget it. We left it intentionally. I think she might not have been so keen on that idea, but yeah, it was fun. Right. Next question.
You haven't asked me yet.
Did I not? I thought I had. I apologise, Mr. Badger.
It's all your fault,
I didn't think Badgers wore underwear.
I got distracted. I know. Where's the weirdest place you've left underwear, Badger?
Dave's house.
Dave's house. How have you left underwear here? And how did I not notice?
Not you.
Why did you have your underwear off at Dave's house?
Because I was staying over.
Fair enough.
Then I forgot it, and it was discovered sometime later, and hilarity was had.
Where did you hide it?
I didn't hide it anywhere. I just left it under the airbed. And then I think I moved the airbed and put it on top of it. Just forgot.
And I've still got some underwear upstairs from a mate that stayed over. I don't know.
Jokes were had because I go around to this particular Dave's house for roleplay games. So we were all there around the table playing characters, and my character at the time was having a very awkward relationship with Dave's wife's character. So there was hilarity to be had from my underwear showing up.
I bet there was. Right. Next question. Question 433. If you woke up tomorrow and you were 12 years old, what would be the first thing you'd do?
Shit myself.
Obviously,
Might be pissed off.
Fuck not puberty again.
Right, after you've dealt with the initial panic.
I'd still be pissed off.
A quick question, Dave. What was it like if you woke up when you were 12?
No idea. I don't remember being 12.
So
I actually
morning wood means nothing to you.
That means something now. I've no idea what it meant when I was 12.
Embarrassment.
Hmm.
Most of the time.
Most of the time.
Do I wake up back in the place I was living when I was 12?
Yes.
So
you basically wake up as 12 having dreamt the rest of your life.
Sure. Yeah, that works.
With a memory of it all.
Yes. I will
Yeah, I'd
permit
still be
you.
pissed off.
I will permit you to wake up as you are.
So
Okay. So I would wake up having realized that the whole bit of being intersex and trans was a nightmare.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'd wake up knowing that things are going to get really
Oh,
shit
actually,
around the
then I'd
late
be
2000s.
happy.
You get to go.
Yeah, I'd be really happy about that. That's pretty cool.
So I'm going to wake up knowing that everything is going to get progressively more and more shit from late 2000s onwards.
But you can make it better. Although all we're interested in is the first thing you do.
How am I going to stop Disney buying Star Wars?
Well, I mean, let's see. I would wake up in the 80s, so I would probably buy stocks in Microsoft.
That'd be the first thing you'd do. Not Apple.
Nah, screw Apple.
Screw Apple.
Apple makes shit phones.
Sammy says masturbate.
Yeah.
I think that's what he does when he wakes up now, so...
To be fair, that's probably what I would do.
Oh, I like Mr. Mander's answer. I like Math Pig's answer.
Actually,
Run back to the fair and find Zordan.
in all honesty, actually, the first thing I'd do is go up and see my dad and give him a huge hug.
Oh, see, now that's nice.
Because, I mean, he died, 7 years ago now, so it'd just be awesome to see him again.
That is a good point. I could go and see my aunt.
Yeah.
It would be 1973.
And then I'd be upset that my daughters were a dream, so I'd be pissed off again.
You've
And also,
done
given the
it.
conditions we've had, you can't have them. It's not even a possibility.
Jen,
Well, no, I could have kids, but it wouldn't be them. Yes, I get your point.
Jen, you've done made it sad now.
Sorry.
So
Well, there's nothing. I'm sorry, Dave. There is nothing particularly. Overall, there's nothing good about this. I mean,
Nope.
there are, but there aren't. I mean, I wouldn't be happy about it. There is nothing I would do to erase my life because my kids mean more to me than anything else.
Fair enough.
Suppose I'd go see my aunt and my great aunt, and I'd talk more to my grandparents.
Very good. Peter.
It's not.
Oh, Jeff.
Go on.
I've been thinking, so I'd go over to my grandfather who lived down the street and spend the entire day with him. That's someone I really miss, so that I would take that chance and just back then he was actually one of my best friends, if not my best friend.
Excellent. Jeff?
I probably would have. Probably would sort of save up for quite a few weeks worth of sort of thinking it'd be like about 92 or something. This would be for me. So probably be saving up quite a bit of pocket money for a few weeks. Then go down the bookies and like put a bet on saying England are not going to qualify for World Cup 1994, and they are not going to win Euro 96 either.
Oh,
There's quite a few people that would be pissed off. Granny?
The hard part for me is would I first kill myself? I don't know. That would be the biggest thing. Is I just want to kill myself.
You would have a whole new life that you would miss out on so much that you know that
you possibly do the whole thing over again, but
Yeah, you don't even have longer to do than I would. That would really suck.
it's questions like this that make you realize the things you regret.
yes.
You know, see, this is the thing, Badger. I don't regret a lot of. There are things I do regret in my life, but I don't regret a lot of them. I'm fairly happy with the way things are gone. I mean, some things could be better, but on the whole, I'm pretty happy. So,
I am with a lot of
give me
things.
options where I can change things. That like, would I really want to?
Yeah, I'm happy with a lot of things, but just not. There's some things that I really do regret, and I'm just yeah. This kind of questions. Now we've got onto the sad side of it. I'm just here going, oh. Yeah,
The thing is, though, I think if you go back and change things you regret or whatever, the thing is, I think somewhere inevitably along the line, you're going to create new things you're going to regret again.
Yeah,
You have a whole new life to screw up.
You will end up fucking yourself up in completely new and inventive ways.
Exactly.
I suppose I would say to myself, don't spend quite so long studying IT because there are literally no jobs in it in your area.
Have you thought about moving?
No. You do not understand how reliant on routine I am.
Gardening.
Right.
Take up gardening.
Yeah, that's actually close to what I was going to say. Don't spend quite so much time learning about IT, although do learn about IT, because IT is useful for many things. But Take a higher education course in conservation and land management or something like that.
Yep.
So then you can go out in nature and
You're aware
cut
you're
down trees
12.
and stuff. Yeah, I've got to plan ahead a little bit, Dave. That's something I didn't do the first time round.
Right. Oh, there are so many sad answers in the thing. I'm going to skip them and go to the next question.
You can't
Yeah,
skip the sad
this question did
answers.
not
We're
go
in a
the way you
sad
thought it was going to go,
mood
Dave.
No! Right. Question 434. You have 30 seconds to ruin a date without talking. What would you do?
Fart.
Can you
Get
do that
out,
on
or-
demand? You've only got
You
30
can try.
seconds. You can
could
try.
try.
Just stand there.
I would invert the amount of eye contact I make.
You mean you glare at them?
I normally make almost no eye contact, so I would change to making constant, uncomfortable eye contact. I would not break eye contact at all for the entire 30 seconds.
How about I'd use the lines? Could I talk to you about Jesus?
You're not allowed to. You can't
You're
talk.
not allowed to say anything.
I don't know. You can't, can you?
Mathpix says
at the
helicopter.
moment, I'd cough directly in their face.
Get arrested for terrorism.
Ring says induce vomiting.
Pick my nose.
You know. Sammy says masturbate. Seraphim says screech.
Seems a recurring thing.
Throw my drink over them.
You drink your- Nerdy says be myself. You can't praise Trump. It's talking, but you can pick your nose.
You just put on a MAGA hat.
Put on a MAGA hat.
I'd go for the Austin Powers approach.
Which one?
Expose my nipples and start rubbing them while making eye contact and sticking out my tongue.
If I did that, it might go better.
I think that would work.
I want to know why the chat has got all this Trump paraphernalia.
Well, I've got a MAGA hat.
Do you take it on dates with you?
Not usually.
When
That's more
You could
because,
if you wanted to ruin it.
that's more because I don't go on dates than because I don't take the hat.
I have a dump Trump shirt.
I've told the story of why I have the hat already.
You have.
Snog the waiter.
Again, that might encourage someone else.
I could just hand her one of like Nathan Thompson flat Earth like leaflets.
Seraphim
I-
says
Or
Pour an expensive bottle of wine onto my date's meal.
I want to get you pissed faster.
Oh no, I could really obviously loosen the cap of the salt and pepper.
Seraphim says lick their forehead. Giggling madly. I think that might be the most effective. Right, next question.
put a Book of Mormon down on the table beside you.
There are places in the world that would get you laid.
Yeah. No, there aren't. There really aren't. Well, maybe eventually, but not that night.
Maybe in Utah, but that might be about it.
Oh, can I get the magic underwear?
They've stopped making magic underwear.
Oh, no.
Yeah. You only want the magic underwear so you can leave it somewhere inappropriate.
Yeah, why have they stopped making the magic underwear? That's their one thing.
Because they're making masks at the moment.
They don't. That's their one thing. They don't have anything else noteworthy.
They're making magic masks. I bet you they'll carry on
Sarah
making them.
said attend in your magic underwear, and I'm assuming she means only your magic underwear.
Attend with my magic underwear on my head.
No, it's very big. It covers your entire... It's like long johns, isn't it?
I could tie it like a turban.
Then it'd look like a turban, not underwear.
Yeah. So then firstly, I'm assuming that the person that I'm dating expects me to wear the magic underwear. I turn up with a turban on, and when they look at me very confused because I'm presenting myself in the costume of the wrong faith, I can take the turban off and display that it is in fact the magic underwear.
Seems convoluted for a very quick 30-second ruin the date.
It would do the job, though.
Just show up with an SS armband on your arm.
Again, that would get you laid in some places. Depressingly.
Wouldn't get me laid in some places. Might get me killed.
Yeah, in other places. Right. Next question. Question 435. If you could turn anyone in your family into an animal, which family member and what animal would you choose?
I feel discriminated against.
You wouldn't want to turn more members of your family.
Badger.
You could turn the rest of your family into badgers.
I'd turn my brother-in-law into a human because he's definitely not one now.
I'll just say there's a cousin of mine. I'd turn into a sewer rat because it's about his level. So.
Granny.
My son-in-law. Something that can't speak.
Something that can't speak.
Maybe a shrew.
Shrew.
Let
I mean,
Badger eat him.
Tame shrew. Peter. What?
So I'm thinking, a family member into an animal.
Yeah.
I could name several and turn them into bugs and then just
Squish.
But I don't think that was what you were asking.
No, it was meant to be of endearment.
I have no such family members left. That's the problem.
I've got it.
Go on.
I will turn my cousins into that specific kind of goat that when you startle them, they fall over and go stiff.
You just spent the whole day walking around going, boo!
I saw one of those jump up onto those little swinging garden chairs.
Yeah.
So a video, one of those goats jumps up onto the swinging garden chair. As it swings back, the goat kind of falls over because it wasn't expecting it to swing. But then because it's fallen over, it's been startled, so it goes stiff and just rolls off. Like, oh.
I think I've seen that video. Seraphim says, oldest nephew into a rabbit since he got his girlfriend pregnant. Shadow Kitty says, mother-in-law is already a shrew. Math Pig says, turn myself into a lion and maul some people. You can't turn yourself into a lion.
Although you turn yourself into a pig.
You are not a family member. Ring and whoever else asked, temporarily, not permanently.
Oh, temporary? That's no fun.
Peter, I don't want to alarm you. There's something dangerous behind you.
No. It's Trump, baby. I can move over.
Oh, it's my goat swinging.
Could be dangerous.
See?
I do like that.
Let me just get this organised. Oh no! Oh.
And then Jen comes over and gets hit by the swing.
he's just down there on the floor afterwards, just going.
6 stitches later.
Ring says, turn my brother into a raven, because he'd probably dig it.
Ask him to say nevermore.
Nevermore. Sammy says, in all my family, there's only one uncle I don't like, so I'll turn him into a badger.
Excuse me?
We want all the dodgy humans turned into badgers, apparently.
I'm just thinking, actually, I mean, is there a way we could set Badger up with a date, not like do this technique, or?
You mean what? Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Turn up with a van full of 20 or 30 female badgers. Break down his front door, throw the badgers in, slam the front door, and run off.
That could be an option.
I could foresee a lot of problems with this.
I'd say poor Badger, but he'd probably enjoy it. Well, after he got over the whole too many people close to him issue.
After he's explained Mandalorian culture to at least 19 of them.
Well, any of them that are left are probably worth it.
There you go.
I don't know whether to do the next question.
Go on.
Yes, we'll do it. Alright, so we've got 2 more questions left today. Question 436. What game has had the biggest impact on your life and why?
Oh dear.
Yes.
Game.
That be a game as in a sport, or just like game as in?
No, it can be whatever. It can be a computer game.
Yeah.
It can be a sport, a game, anything we would call a game.
Dungeons and Dragons.
If it's a sport, it has to be Formula One. It's
really stretching to call that a sport.
I was a huge fan of Senna,
Yeah.
who died tragically in a crash in 1994, and that was on May 1st, which was yesterday, which was
it. That was in Imola, I believe, wasn't it?
Which was my birthday. So, and it was someone that I not only admired on the track but off the track as well. So that did have quite an impact.
Look, Formula 1 works. Badger.
Team Fortress 2.
Not Team Fortress.
No, Team. Don't bring that up. Right, Team Fortress 2, because it has drastically affected the way I laugh.
Fair enough.
See,
How did you laugh before it?
I've gone through quite a lot of different ways of laughing in my life. When I was at college, I inherited a sort of inwards breathing laugh from this chap called Lee.
Wait, can you do a Jimmy Carr laugh?
No, but I can. Right, I can try and do a Jimmy Carr laugh, but that's not what I'm talking about right now. I inherited this inwards breathing laugh from a chap I went to college with. That sounds. It sounds like you're trying not to laugh, and it's kind of like that.
Yeah.
It sounds absolutely ridiculous. But then, look up Team Fortress 2 Meet the Sniper at some point, and then listen to my cackle laugh, and you will hear the similarities.
Fair enough. Ring says, murdering people in Skyrim helped me keep my sanity whilst in the military.
Sammy's insisting we sing Happy Birthday to him, but we've already sung Happy Birthday this stream.
We'll have to do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because it's actually his birthday tomorrow. It's just
it's after midnight where he is, so he actually is his birthday.
I will wish him a happy birthday, but we're not going to sing to him until tomorrow.
Sorry, we work on proper time here.
Yes.
For me, the game would be Monopoly.
Monopoly.
Some of my fondest memories are playing Monopoly with my siblings when I was young. We would get into these games that would go on, and we would leave the game on the floor in my brother's room and come back tomorrow. And I think our longest game lasted like 4 days.
Who usually won?
Probably my older brother.
I always.
It's a good job you didn't discover Risk. Say again, Badger?
I always hated Monopoly because I'm terrible at it.
Not bloodthirsty enough.
No, I'm not. I'm not a good business manager.
You're a bad badger.
I'd kind of do the thing like what Del Boy did in Only Fools and Horses when he was playing at Monopoly and like tried to charge him extra. He said, "Well, I'll put you in the penthouse suite at the hotel." And
Jeff, what game?
Sadly, it's probably going to be football, but I don't know if they said had positive.
Its biggest impact. So.
Yeah, but I mean, in terms of sports, a lot that I've played already, like games I've played, anything was probably rugby. I played rugby. I was never any good at football. I was half decent rugby player, but I don't know. I'm a bit sad in that respect. That's my little mainstream thing is being a bit of a football nut. So,
Dave, are you trying to kiss the
I was trying to blow Bob away.
Thing behind you? I mean, it really looked like that.
I was trying to blow him away.
Answer, I missed the entire answer that just was given because you were trying to kiss a cartoon floating past you. Don't do that.
He said football. It had a massively positive influence on his life.
I don't know if it's not that positive. I support Southampton for fuck's sake.
What have we got here? Spooky Monopoly. I thought everyone hated Monopoly. I like Monopoly. What's wrong with Monopoly?
I don't like Monopoly.
I liked it more when I played the bank.
Yeah,
That's a good point, actually. I liked it when we could cheat.
Yes.
To be fair, generally that's the most realistic to real life, isn't it?
Only like playing Monopoly if you're the bank.
Yeah, because that's just be honest. The bank cheats you in real life, so you know.
Yep.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Fun fact: Monopoly was made to show the failure and greed of capitalism. It does that better when you cheat.
I should do the laugh, shouldn't I?
Yes.
That sounds like you're dying of emphysema.
Apparently, I giggle like Rumpelstiltskin in that TV series as well.
There's a Rumpelstiltskin TV series?
I can't remember what the series is called. It's got that guy as Rumpelstiltskin.
That guy as
Badger.
Rumpelstiltskin.
Yeah, it's got that guy who was in the Bond film as the villain who got shot in the head and couldn't feel pain anymore.
No,
That narrows it down.
it really does. No villains had that.
It was Pierce Brosnan was Bond.
Fair enough.
Shouldn't the answer be who was Pierce Brosnan?
I'm going to bed.
Seraphim says, mine is Skyrim. Met a lot of cool people in getting into the lore side of it.
So, Dave, I do have one thing regarding this question because I'm not sure if it's going to have the biggest impact on my life.
Yeah.
But I recently discovered Jeopardy. and so it's an entire game with questions about atheism.
Yeah.
Oh.
But the questions and the answers are made by creationists.
What? What?
Which I think makes it a perfect game for atheists to play.
God damn!
Wait, what?
Do a live
Where?
stream of this.
Is this...
I have that on my computer now, so I could play that.
Right, we need to do live streams of
God
this.
damn! Live stream. He's got a live stream there.
We should use that for the questions.
Oh, so
Yeah, you should play Jeopardy one night.
We
Dave.
need to. We've got to get Stephen in on it though.
I don't. I
No,
don't have a
atheist
channel
news.
Dave, I don't have a channel where I could play that.
I'd
So
happily do it.
We could do that on your channel. I also have a buzzer, so the people that play the game will have a buzzer,
Yeah, I have buzzers.
so that you actually have the first one who presses the buzzer
Yeah,
comes up.
I've got that fully integrated with OBS, so it flashes
I
up
want
as
my
the
buzzer.
people.
I want my
What?
buzzer to sound like.
No,
Um,
we'll talk about this later, Peter.
I've still got to do that gaming stream where I play the Hitchhiker's Guide text adventure.
Yes, you did say you would.
Yeah, then my PC
Oh yeah.
died.
I forgot you were going to do that.
Yeah, so did I after my PC died.
The dog's not here,
Must
and
be.
my speakers aren't on. Right. I apologise.
Me, Tim.
Right, last question.
We broke the stream.
You did. Last question.
It's like sweep on acid.
It is. Question 437. Would you rather drown or be burned alive?
Could I be drowned?
Drown.
Could I be drowned in beer?
Yes.
Then that would be the answer. Yes.
So regarding the answer being drowned in beer, I have a story to tell because I used to work at the Grolsch factory or whatever you want, Grolsch brewery,
Yeah.
and so at some point we had someone drown, actually in a
See, that should be sad, but that's funny.
yeah. So and the fact was that the manager then went to the guy's wife to tell her that her husband had just drowned in a great vat of beer. And so she broke down completely and asked the manager, did he suffer much? And he said, no, he got out 2 or 3 times to take a leak.
Oh, thank you, sir. You found the name of the guy. It was Robert
Carlo.
So I'm going with drowned in beer as well, as long as I can relieve myself.
Could I be burned to death in the in a star?
All I'm
No.
gonna say is, all I'm gonna say
I
is,
get drowned in beer and I can't get burned to death in a star.
If you can get a star in the building down the road, sure.
I'm gonna say I'm just on that last story though. I'm a little happier that I went to the Heineken brewery when I went to the Netherlands now. So
See, that's not beer.
no, I know, but
And
All right, I'll get burned to death in a nuclear explosion that lands directly on my head.
Yeah,
I got a
that's real
story
okay.
to tell about that too, because
You've got you
beer-
died in a nuclear explosion?
I have.
Yes.
Badger,
Yes.
Badger. Once
Yes.
a year, you have Brewers Day in Holland, where all the executives from the breweries get together. When I was working at Grolsch, the owner back then had to host it, and so they went into the city here and to a bar, and everyone ordered. So the owner of Heineken, Freddie Heineken, ordered a beer. In Holland it's called Pils, and he said, but it has to be Heineken. The owner of Amstel beer ordered an Amstel. There were 2 or 3 more. All of them wanted their own beer, and then it was up to the owner of Grolsch, and he said, "I'll have a mineral water, please." and the guy who was serving said, "But Mr. De Groen, all the others. I mean, don't you want a beer?" He said, "Well, all the others aren't drinking beer, so I won't drink beer there either." that literally happened.
Isn't Amstel owned by Heineken though?
Amstel is owned by Heineken for a long time.
Yeah.
You say, in fact, you call it pills. We had pills. I don't remember seeing any pills adverts in years.
Pilsner.
So
So what you're telling me is that all the other guys were full of themselves.
Yes.
I think the Americans call it lager. because for the American market, that was literally what it said: lager beer.
Lager beer. Spooky, it's a bit of a depressing last. It is a depressing last question.
Which is kind of funny because lager in Dutch is lager, which means lower. So we sent off the lower beer to America and had the good one.
It seems to be that countries send out their shittest beers.
Yeah.
I grew up in Milwaukee and went to college in La Crosse. Both of those are major beer towns.
Did they like the beer in those towns themselves?
Oh yeah, you know.
Did anybody
Milwaukee,
drown in them?
It was Pabst, Miller, and oh gosh, it started with a D. I can't remember the third one. The third one went under, but Pabst and Miller. I know Pabst is still there. I mean, it was the biggest. And then Heilman was in La Crosse where I went to college.
If somebody drowns in a vat of beer, does it mean that that beer is full-bodied?
Didn't they have a sports team in Milwaukee called the Brewers as well?
Yes, they named the team after because it was a beer town. Yes.
I can't remember if it was baseball or not, but I think
Yes, it's baseball. Mm-hmm.
Nerdy says burnt. We should run back to these. Sammy says burnt. Seraphim says burnt.
I'd like to know a bit more about the scenario here.
Which scenario? Which one?
About being drowned or burnt. If I'm burnt, is it like a slow burn or is it done quite rapidly?
Well,
A rock burn.
it's a fast burn. No, yeah, you'll die in within 5 seconds.
Within 5 seconds.
Yeah.
And if I drown?
Takes 3 minutes.
Takes 3 minutes.
Or you can die instantly by having a nuclear bomb drop on your head. And it's still
Yeah,
great.
I don't think that. I'm not sure about that.
Too bad.
People are burned. They usually die from
Okay,
Did.
Dave.
smoke inhalation.
What are the mechanics of me burning to death in 5 seconds?
What do you mean? What are the mechanics? You're covered in petrol and set on fire.
That's not a 3 to 5 second death.
No, it's not.
Your brain stops functioning after 5 seconds. We're saying.
But
But you have to experience that 5 seconds. That's the point.
No.
I mean, I can make it 3 minutes if you want.
Okay, no, that'd be quicker.
I'm still going with drowning.
Still going with drowning.
Drowning, once you've accepted it, it's apparently not too unpleasant.
It's the panic before you accept it's the issue.
Yeah. So if I'm aware of the scenario, then I'll be aware that you just gotta put up with it.
Seraphim says spontaneous badger combustion. Granny.
Yeah, being someone who's been suicidal most of her life, I think I've thought about manner of death so many times. The manner of death that scares me the most is being eaten by an animal.
Hello.
Being burned alive is something that I actually have never really considered, but being drowned, I have definitely thought of many times. So for me, I guess being drowned, because it's easy.
It's easy. It's easier to organise.
Not for me. I would have to do it while scuba diving.
Oh, damn it.
What?
Yeah, my brain's going. Someone say something funny.
Something funny?
Yeah.
Badger?
Oh, sorry. Did I
Badger.
trigger? I'm sorry. I didn't.
It's fine.
All right. It was a bad last question. I shouldn't have gone. It's been sat in my last question list for ages, and I just thought, I'll put it in. And I regret it now.
Someone say something funny.
Something funny.
Excellent. Good work, Dave.
Did it fix everything?
Will you pay me all of the 20 million if I say no?
No. We were negotiating on the 20 million. Someone was going to bribe me with 11 million.
I know something funny, Badger.
No, we were going to.
The last Disney Star Wars movie was really good.
We're trying to make him not sad.
I'm sorry, Badger.
Right. On that note.
Also, ow.
What?
I said also ow.
Also, ow. It hurts, doesn't it? Just that information hurts.
I may have punched the table.
Right. I'm going to say thank you to Jeff. Thank you to Jeff. Thank you to Peter, who I'm going to wish a happy birthday again. And I'm going to do it again tomorrow. And thank you to Granny. And thank you to Badger.
Ow.
And thank you to everyone in the chat for letting me torment you all for too long, apparently. Gone on very long today.
Oh, there's still people here.
There are. Who knows? And I will see you all sometime tomorrow. Bye.
Hold on. Dave, hold on.
What?
So can we just chill someone, because Mel just put a tweet in the DM group. If people want to play more games, hop over to Mel. She's got more games and she's talking about stuff and things.
Yes.
Not stuffing things, but stuff and things.
Stuff
And
and
I've
things.
got my premiere in just under an hour.
You have. So everyone needs to get to that one. And I don't have a link for Mel's.
Oh, well, I should send you a link from my thing, shouldn't I?
This evening one, if you want.
Yeah.
Or you could put it in the chat.
I'll put it in the chat
I
because
do.
I am a smart.
I don't have the smell one.
A smell one.
The Mel one. Could you put the link in the chat in the live stream, Peter?
Sure. It's in the same DM group that you're part of.
Oh,
where you share your.
see, I wasn't looking there. I was looking on Twitter. That's my issue. Whee! Click. Come on. Don't you just love?
Too late.
Damn you!
Why are you Mr. Manda now?
Who?
Math paid.
He's still Math Pig. He's just Mr. Manda.
He's just under the thumb of Mama Atheist.
What is so?
Well, that cheered Badger up.
Dave, you've known MathPick for a while. What is a pre-Diapti stream?
A debate stream.
Oh,
Because he's got a debate at a stupid time in the morning.
Oh yeah, the Apti stream.
Yeah.
a Diapti stream.
So it will be very, very well timed for Americans and very, very badly timed for people in the UK. But given that he doesn't sleep, it doesn't really matter for him.
No.
It'd probably be quite a good time for Australians as well. Right. I'm going to say goodbye and wave again before anyone else has anything to shill.
Bye.
Bye.